Trying to be doing that bullshit. On some good news. Welcome back to the show. This is my guest, Jeff Horste, Detroit comedian.
Yep.
Right? I think we met through what? Trey Stewart or Ron Taylor or something.
One of those two.
Yeah, mostly during the pandemic. I think I met you face to face during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. When the store was, when we were doing spots in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Right?
The window.
The window was after the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
When they shut that down. They were so strict on the store for some reason. It was so crazy because not even a block away was the Saddle Ranch, and these motherfuckers was just operating like it was nothing going on. And the store had seats in the parking lot with the shield up in front of the comedian, and they said no. And then they put them up in the window, and they said no at first, and then it was like they were just fucking with the store for some reason. And all the businesses around the store, they were just letting them slide on all time. Like the Saddle Ranch was packed during the pandemic.
Riding a mechanical bull.
Yeah, well, no, because they weren't indoors; they were in their parking lot.
Oh yeah.
They were in the parking lot with it full of tables and chairs, but still just operating like a regular restaurant and all that. No masks, no nothing. And then the store was like doing a comedy show where people were masked, sitting in the parking lot, and they were like, no live entertainment. It was like, for whatever reason, live entertainment was, man, I just...
Wasn't that crazy? Because you're talking out loud, I'm spreading all those germs. I'm telling you,
when things don't add up, it drives me fucking nuts.
When they made the outside inside again, where they're like, you can't do shows inside. Right. You can't have businesses or restaurants inside. But what we can do is put an awning and a tent over the parking lot and make it inside now, and we just pretend that's not the same thing.
Well, this is what happens. This is what a bureaucracy is. To me, the best way to define a bureaucracy is when the people making the rules are so far removed from the situation that they're ruling over that they have no idea how the rules will actually come into effect.
Sure.
So when they go no entertainment, it's like there's some fucking boring ass fucking old person up in the city council that goes no live entertainment, because in their mind they're picturing, they say live entertainment, they're picturing a concert and a crowd and people jumping and fucking and on drugs, right? And then that gets trickled down to some fucking minion who's an automaton, doesn't question anything, doesn't use their better judgment, and they just go, well, this is live entertainment, even though they know the spirit of the law is like, these are just motherfuckers sitting at a table, just like two doors down. This is no different than that situation, other than the fact that someone that's in a fucking Pope bubble is telling jokes, and they still wanted to shut us down anyway. Whatever, and it's like, that's our last little shred of dignity right there, dog. Yeah, I'm telling you, listen, if you did, they might not be willing to admit it now, but some top comics did some comedy in that window, which was not. It was the worst.
There was some humbling moments of the beginning of quarantine where you were like, is Bill Burr doing a show in a park?
Right.
I bet there's 40 people in that park. There was some humbling times.
It was the comedy equivalent of like you ever try to put like Doom on hell mode or whatever, and you play it for 2 minutes, and you're like, fuck this. But we didn't say fuck it. We kept doing it.
Yeah, it's because comedians are addicted to doing stand-up comedy, and so to me the equivalent's like when alcoholics can't afford booze, so they take like Sterno cans and filter it through a loaf of French bread or some shit.
Or don't even.
That's what Zoom shows were.
They just
doing comedy on Zoom.
Yeah. It's drinking mouthwash.
Doing comedy on Zoom was a different thing.
Yeah,
because to me, doing comedy on Zoom was a cheap substitute for. Because I put it like this. This is the analogy I like to make. Doing comedy in the window was the crack version of. If comedy's cocaine, doing comedy in the window was crack. But doing comedy on Zoom was like somebody sold you soap instead of crack. Where it's not even a little bit of the real shit in there. Because to me, like for other people, if you did comedy on Zoom, I'm not judging you. It's just, for me, I forget who was it. Laura Bites was like, it's like you're cheating on your spouse because she's in a coma. You cheating on your spouse with a hooker, trying to get the same feeling, but it's like the feeling ain't there. It's like it feels the same physically, but everything else is missing.
Yeah,
it's that. It was that.
There was like one. Chocolate Sundays had shows going on Zoom, and they had like 100 people that were audience members that would watch on Zoom. They had a DJ on Zoom. And that was like the first Zoom show I did. And I was like, oh, so there's probably other shows that figured out how to do this too. And no, that was it. They were the only ones.
That's the thing.
Everyone else was just...
Even the best Zoom show is not... Yeah. It's you know what it is? It's like you going, I had the best phone sex. That still ain't fucking.
It's like fucking in Second Life.
Right, yeah. It's like fucking in the
VR
metaverse.
Chat.
You still in the metaverse, bro. It's not the same.
You're in the metaverse.
Yeah.
You're fucking with an Oculus
now,
on.
Speaking of complete total bullshit and efficiency, let me tell y'all why I was late today.
All right.
Let me tell you why I was late today. This is infuriating. Okay? So you know about my debacle last week with the Samsung Odyssey G9. I'm a gamer. I ordered a gaming monitor. I wanted to return it. Blah 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 blah. I ordered the replacement from Best Buy. Why? Because I'm a fucking idiot that forgot that every time I deal with Best Buy, there's a fucking problem. Best Buy is short for you best buy that shit somewhere else. These motherfuckers. Listen. So I order a 42-inch television. No biggie deal. It's secretly known in the gamer world as it's the LG C2. It's secretly known as a great gaming thing. So I'm gonna use that as my monitor because I have the setup. And anyway, but the point is,
you can use it as both.
You can use it as both. It's not as great as a computer monitor for like productivity, but I'm not productive at my computers for gaming. So anyway. I paid a little extra money for it to be delivered the next day, which was yesterday. I bought it yesterday.
Sure.
Right? Because I had a problem with getting it from Amazon. I bought it yesterday. So about 20 minutes after I buy it, I received a confirmation email saying, and I realized for whatever reason, it defaulted to my old address. Right? Even though I've since changed my address in my Best Buy account and everything, me just not paying attention, I didn't notice the default shipping address was even though my payment address was my now address, whatever. I was like, no big deal. I go in to try to change it like you can do on Amazon or Walmart or any other fucking modern website. You can't, right? So I call Best Buy customer service, which is 24/7. By the way, and they go, hey, we transfer you to your personal concierge, right? So you talk to a person at any time, which is commendable, right?
Wow, sounds good so far.
This person tells me, well, the way our system is set up.
No matter what comes what comes after that phrase, you know it's gonna be infuriating.
Because the system is what they give to the peons to dismiss you. Sorry, it's the system.
Yeah.
So the way their system, the way their system is set up, you can't change anything after like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right, which is crazy, right? So they were like, it's in the middle of setting everything up, so they can't stop it, right? And so he tells me, so what you need to do is, you just have to wait until there is the shipment order is generated, and you'll receive a tracking number. And once you receive the tracking number, then call back, right? So like maybe 2 hours later, so I'm up all night. Right, so this is another thing. I've been up all night. So maybe two hours later, I get the shipping number. I call them back. I talk to somebody else.
Okay.
And this person.
Oh, dog! You should have changed it before you got the tracking number.
Well, you can't.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's what this person's.
The next person's going to say.
Yeah. Oh, right.
The last guy was wrong.
The next person goes, oh yeah, no. They didn't say I should have changed it before. No, they said no. You were misinformed. You need to wait until it gets picked up by the carrier. Then we can do an intercept and change the final destination. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Just cancel it. And they were like, you sure? I was like, yes. And they're like, I got to transfer you up the line. So they transfer me to somebody that is not in America. So this is another. I go from talking to somebody in America, and the supervisor is in another place.
Wait, but I thought you got a concierge. I was a personal concierge.
Right?
That was going to handle everything.
I
don't understand.
What's the point of a concierge?
So I get transferred up the line, and this guy tells me that I was misinformed.
A second time in a different way now?
Right. He's like, no. He's like, what you got to do is you have to wait until it ship. You have to wait until it's actually shipped, and then we can do an intercept. I'm like, okay, no big deal. So I wait until it's shipped. Now, by this time, it's been maybe 5 or 6 hours since I bought the thing.
And you've heard 3 different ways of handling it.
I've heard 3 different answers. So I call back and I go, now it's shipped. Now this person tells me, oh, well, now it's too late. You should have did this before it's shipped. So now the only thing you can do now is you got to call FedEx. You gotta contact FedEx, and you can change, because I've done it before with UPS, where you can say, hey, like I've had shit shipping to my house, and then I know I'm on the road, and I have it routed to the hotel I'm gonna be at. You know what I mean, or something like that with UPS. And I'm like, okay, so it's something like that. So I call FedEx, and they go, actually, there are special instructions on this shipment, so only the shipper can change the destination address. So I call back to Best Buy. I talk to a different person, and they go, I don't know why they would tell you that.
The shipper,
like,
they're like, but my name's on it, though.
I don't see no options to change shit on the thing. So I'm like, they're like, yeah, just call back and tell them.
But so, I'm Brian.
Yeah, I call back to FedEx, and they're like, listen, because of the value of the package and because it's a signature only the shipper can change it. Call them and tell them they don't know what the fuck to do. So I call back. Finally, I talked to a 7th person on my personal concierge team. There's 7 people. There's 7 people for Brian, even though I've never bought anything online from Best Buy.
You have a full entourage.
Oh yeah. Every one of the companies lined up to help me. Now this woman did more for me than she kept me on hold a lot. She checked with a lot of supervisors, and basically what I was told was, I'm gonna have to wait until it gets delivered, return to them, and then turn back, right? And I'm like, well, this is my concern. My old neighborhood is not the best neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And what if someone signs for the package? Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then what? And then well, can you go over there and intercept it? I'm like,
oh shit! Now you're
no. I got shit to do, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, so they're like, listen, this is what we'll do for you. Because you tried to stop this immediately and was all this other stuff, let's just wait to see what FedEx does, and then we'll call you in the morning. Tomorrow morning. They're going to call me tomorrow morning.
Let's wait to see.
Right. So I'm filming a sketch today. I get a text saying that my package was delivered. So someone signed for my package. Uh-huh. So I'm like, you know what? I get the homie. I'm like, hey, can you...
Or FedEx just fucking left it somewhere.
Or that's whatever, also... right? Right. So I get the homie. I'm like, hey, man, can you drive me to my old spot? It was like, maybe 3 miles from where we filmed at. Can you drive me to my old spot and see if because I don't know who lives there now, right? The landlord's died since then and all this, right? I don't know anybody there. So he drives me by there, and I'm like, maybe they'll be nice people, whatever. They'll give me my shit. I mean, they signed for it, right? I go in there, it's abandoned. No one lives there. His windows busted out and some more shit. Like there's nobody living here. Who the fuck signed for my shit? No one lives here.
This is like the shittiest ghost story ever.
Someone's
lived there for
So it's one of those. It's a duplex, right? So I knock next door. Someone lives there, and they're like, we ain't see nothing. Which maybe they were lying, maybe they weren't.
They're like, I don't even know what a Best Buy is.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah, and
television.
So this is where So this is where I am. I'm at a point where I've paid a significant sum of money for a top-notch monitor, because this wasn't cheap. This was like, and it wasn't that expensive, but it was more money than I'm willing to be like, fuck it, right?
Right.
And I guess the most frustrating part is that a company, somehow, when all these other tech companies died off, somehow we lost Radio Shack, we lost Circuit City, we just lost Fry's, all of which were far superior to Best Buy. And Best Buy has survived
especially customer service.
All this, especially customer service, selection, everything. And Best Buy, they still left standing somehow. And so they are the premier tech-focused department store in America. They sell the latest technology, and somehow they are unable to change a shipping address 30 fucking minutes after I order something. What? Think about this. Think about this. If you order something from Best Buy, let's just say a television or a computer monitor, it's still sitting where it was. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For 6, 7, and because I had next day shipping. So until it's picked up by the shipper, it's just sitting where it was. Yeah. This is a purely technical computer thing. It's still there. You could have stopped it. You could have stopped it before it left. You could have stopped it when it was created. You could have stopped it. They have no means whatsoever. And listen, I take full responsibility for the fact that I missed it. I did not know that my old address was still on the account because I changed it. So I didn't know that my default shipping address was set to my old account, right? That's on me. I'll take that on me. But I can't possibly be the only person that this happens to. It might not happen every day, but this definitely happens regularly enough where Best Buy should be able to fucking change a shipping address.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I've had shit from Amazon. I've canceled that shit while it was outside.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can cancel shit from Amazon. That motherfucker could be standing right in front of you and be like, you know what? No.
I just can't get over the fact that you talked to 7 different people and you heard 7 different answers. I don't know how just not accidentally you would have heard the same answer twice, at least.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get 7 different people that all like that sounds like some cartoon. Like that wasn't real life.
What's mind blowing is the premier tech warehouse place in the country can't use technology. That's what's so fucking frustrating about it.
Yeah.
That's what's so fucking irritating about it. I could have ordered from anywhere else. Walmart, B&H, Newegg,
Yeah.
Amazon, anybody but Best Buy. Why did I go to Best? Because most of my frustration is with myself. I know better. This isn't the first time Best Buy has burned me. I could do a whole fucking 30-minute special about why I fucking hate Best Buy.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I could. But so I know better than this. This is like, you know what it is? This is like going back to an ex that cheated on you, but this time they give you a STD. Now they with you forever.
And people ask you, why did you go back? And you got nothing for them.
I got nothing. I don't know why. I don't know why. I was just like, never again.
It was easy.
Never a fucking because their solution to the problem was, well, let's just keep our fingers crossed. And hope a stranger doesn't steal your shit.
That was the craziest part of the story to me, was when you said they were like, well, let's see what happens. Call me tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll figure this out together. Like, what do you mean?
You going to call me the day after it's supposed to be delivered and hope that what? What, bitch? What are we talking about?
I sincerely think that customer service overall, from all business standpoint, got drastically worse because of the pandemic. I feel like every single because we were scared to even question. Like when we go to restaurants now, it's just like, whatever you give me, you risked your life to give me the sandwich. You spit in it. I don't care. I'm taking it. I'm not saying a damn thing. And I think that happened for so long that I've gotten so much worse customer service everywhere. Everywhere I go.
Well, this is why customer service is worse. It's also because, there's all these nobody wants to work people out there.
Yeah.
And the truth is, nobody wants to work for shit money anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. When you don't want to pay people a decent wage, what happens is you get the people that's just taking what they can get.
Yeah.
So you're not getting the best people.
You're getting what you paid for.
You're getting what you pay for. And it wasn't like that for so long, and now because like so many people were forced to discover their little side hustles and little work from home gigs and all this other stuff. And so many people that were slaving away in restaurants and shit like that, they realized, oh shit, I can sell my little paper mache shit on Etsy or Pinterest, and I could and then on top of that, I could just do a little web design on the side, and I'm paying all my bills. Fuck going back to that restaurant.
Yeah.
And so now you get the people that are like, I'm not resourceful and I don't know what the fuck to do. You know what I mean? You're getting those people. Yeah. Even down to the chefs, to the food. Even if you go somewhere that was excellent, it's like, and not everybody, but that's what you're getting.
Sure.
You're getting the people that don't have other options instead of the people that want to be there, or at least the people that are focused on being good at it. You know?
Yeah. I'm tired of calling places for customer service complaints and then having to talk to them. Sometimes I get to a level of just pure desperation where I'm literally just talking to them on the other end, just like, well, what? Are you just be a person for a second? You're not Jim that works at Best Buy. You're just a motherfucker I know. Does this sound like this makes sense to you?
Of course.
Like you get to a level of desperation where you have to talk like out of character, like not just customer service, like.
And some people may be listening and doing the math and going, "Wait a minute, he didn't talk to 7 people. He talked to 6 people." Okay, I left out a person that claimed that there was no audio on the call and hung up on me. Now keep in mind,
that's fun.
Before you can get through to any money, you have to keep verifying shit with your voice.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, Best Buy loves this. You have to verify who you are with the computer, and then when you get to the person, they do it all over again.
Right? Oh, because they don't want to waste their time if nobody's
they're just dumb. Like if I call Chase Bank,
yeah,
and I go, here's my PIN, here's my thing, here's my password. They know I'm calling from the phone number that's my number. So when I get to a person, they go, "Thank you for being pre-verified when you call. What do you need, Mr. Simpson?" But when you call Best Buy, you do all that. And then you do it all again. You do it all with the computer, and then you do it all with them.
Twice?
Right. So you got to do all that. So I'm talking the whole time, and then this motherfucker answers the phone and goes, "Hello?" And I'm like, "Hello." He goes, "Can I get your?" I'm like, "Is this, and that?" He's like, "Hello." I'm like, "You hear me, motherfucker?"
Yeah. I hate. There were so many times that I had to be on hold for hours trying to figure out unemployment, and then if you don't answer, I'm not going to hold the phone to my ear with the music blasting and the corny music in the background on repeat for 4 hours straight. I'm going to put it on speakerphone. I'm going to try to get some other shit done so I don't feel like I wasted my whole day. And then instead, at the end of it, sometimes there's people that answer and they're like, "Hello?" And then if you take more than a half second to say hello back, they're just like, hang up. On to the next person.
That's a shitty company.
What the fuck?
A decent company has the callback thing where they go, "Hey, the whole time's a long time. We'll call you back." Right?
Yeah, I think that might be on me. I just don't believe it. I have so low expectations for customer service. I think that if you believe in the callback system, that you're just like you have too much hope in humanity. I just don't believe. I think that they look at that list of they're like, "Isn't that hilarious?" Jeff thinks I'm going to call him back. Why would the fuck would I call? I'm just not going to talk to you. I don't like this. I don't think they go through that.
It's always
maybe
worked.
I'm wrong.
It's always worked.
Yeah.
The callback thing can fuck you up too, because my wife and I never got our, not 2021, 2020 tax refund. And we've been fighting with them ever since, trying to get it. And you sign up for this thing, and you have to call them and give them a number to call you back. And they tell you they're going to try to call you 3 times. Okay?
Yeah.
So fast forward like 3 weeks later or something. It's almost a month later. And they had my wife's phone number. She's on the phone with the vet for our dog, and she gets like a call, and she like sends it to voicemail because she's like on the phone with the vet.
Sure.
She gets a call from the same number 2 more times immediately afterwards. Yeah. Sends it and thinks it's just a scam. Sends it to voicemail 2 more times. Then
check. We tried.
They tried. Now they don't got. They don't leave a voicemail.
Yep.
They don't leave a callback number. Nothing like that. She Googles, like, what was this number? IRS. A week later, we get a letter saying that our case has been closed.
Yeah.
They still have our money.
Yeah.
Our case has been closed because they tried to call us 3 times and we didn't answer.
Yeah.
Suck my dick, IRS.
Yeah.
I'm so over this, and this just goes to show. Shout out to the great Marquez Brownlee. He's one of the tech channels that I trust a little, and I live by this. It's like. My philosophy about companies branches off of this. Never purchase a product. First of all, never pre-order. Never pre-order anything. No matter what they're fucking offering you. Never pre-order shit. Never buy a product based on promises of future improvements. You have to buy shit as if it will never get better than what you get when you bought it, right?
Pay attention, Tesla owners.
Yeah. And here's the third exactly. And here's the third thing. And this is my personal shit is you don't judge a company based on how shit is when everything's running smoothly. You judge them by what happens when things go off script, when things go awry, when things happen that they didn't foresee, right? And that tells you who's running the motherfucker. Because like I said, any company that doesn't have a callback system, any company that makes you jump through 15 different hoops just to even contact. Like a lot of companies are so fucking arrogant, Microsoft, that they will have an FAQ with like 10 questions on it.
Yeah.
And if your question ain't on that list, that's it.
You don't get. Yeah.
You don't get to talk to nobody or nothing. Or you get to talk to somebody and they just read that. They just read the thing back to you. It's like, bitch, I've done all that.
So many times I've had to lie about what my issue is because my option isn't on there. And that's the only way that I can talk to a person is if I press option 1 through 9 on the phone, and none of those are the right options. So I'm like, I'm just 5, whatever. I press can I talk to a person? I just need to talk to a person.
And that's why I'm so pissed with Best Buy is because like this isn't even something that's unusual. This isn't, it's like I didn't call them and go, oh, I'm sorry, my shit is I ordered it to the wrong country.
Yeah.
No, bitch, it's the same city.
Yeah.
It's just, and it was 25 minutes later. But it's like it seems like the sort of thing. It would be like if you walked up to your airline and was like, excuse me, my bag isn't coming out the baggage claim. And they're like, oh shit, we don't even know what to do. Yeah. We might need to call corporate. A bag is lost. That's never happened.
What we're going to have to do is actually send the bag to the wrong place. We're going to have another stranger pick the bag up. They're going to have to return it. And you're like, this don't make sense though. Say that out loud.
It's
think
like
this happened to you.
They know.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's all I need from you. That's all I need from you. Regular person, like you said, I need you to just drop the facade for 5 seconds and be like, I know this is bullshit.
Yeah, right?
Don't try to justify what your bullshit ass company's doing. You know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because listen, I'm gonna tell you what. Because here's the other thing. I know that I'm not some big, huge, giant celebrity, but I have a big enough voice where I'm not gonna ever stop shitting on every single company that's ever fucked me over. And I'll tell you what.
I respect that.
And I'll tell you what, and like I said, I ain't filthy rich or nothing like that, but I ain't never letting this go.
Oh yeah.
You motherfuckers gonna give me a television or you gonna give me my motherfucking $1,500 back.
Yeah.
One of those things is happening before it's all said and done. I listen, if you want to know how fucking petty I am, when I was in New York to film my half hour for Netflix, and that hotel charged me $40. After it was all said and done, you got to put out a car for incidentals or whatever, right? Uh-huh. They put $40 on my car for no reason. Like, I didn't order room service. Mm-hmm. Nothing was missing or damaged. You know what I'm saying? I was only there for 2 nights or whatever. It's like nothing. There was no reason to charge me for whatever. And it took me all this time. I got that motherfucking $40 back.
There you go.
That happened in August of last year.
August of last year.
Yeah, I got my $40 back in March. They thought you fucking with the wrong. I'm my mother's son, nigga. I don't let shit slide. I will I don't care who I gotta call, harass, who house I gotta show up to, how many strongly worded letters I gotta write, how many fucking white women I have to get to make TikToks. I'm gonna get my motherfucking money back just on principle. You not keeping my motherfucking money, Best Buy.
I love the idea of you literally outsourcing this problem to like a white woman on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Who's like, you got a good following. So this is what happened to me at Best Buy. And then
yeah.
I love that being, because I'm a level of petty to where I might not fuck with Best Buy just because of you.
You should listen.
I might just be on the phone and be like, do you know who the fuck Brian Simpson is?
Listen. And listen, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. If you have a local Best Buy that you can walk in and grab something and walk out, perfectly fine. Because they're excellent at that. If you buy something at Best Buy and take it home, I'm talking about Best Buy like you, because that's a separate thing from shipping things to you. Mm-hmm. Do not buy anything from Best Buy online. I'm telling you, don't buy it over the phone. If you're gonna buy it in person. Buy it in person so you can return it in person. Mm-hmm. Do not buy shit from them online. Do not have big ass items shipped to you. Mm-hmm. Especially expensive ones.
Yeah.
Don't do it. It's a pain in the ass because I'm dealing with a separate problem with Amazon because they do a good job at hiding. They don't hide it, but it's not readily apparent who the seller is. Right? So sometimes it's Amazon, and if the seller is Amazon, it's nothing. You buy that shit. But if the seller is somebody else and they shipping you a big item, and I don't mean expensive. I'm talking about something that's just hard, like it would take 2 people to carry.
Sure.
Right? Don't do it. Because if you need to return that shit, it's going to be a pain in your fucking ass. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing for them to bring a couch to your house. Yeah. There's another thing for them to go, okay, you want to return that couch? You need to take that couch to your local FedEx.
Yeah.
With the box, because you would keep a giant box around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, because that's what's happening to me recently. I bought a giant monitor that didn't work and I'm having flaws. I told them about it last week. And now, and I didn't keep the box because it's the size of a fucking couch.
Yeah.
And it was a very expensive monitor, more expensive than the TV. And it has all these glitches and flaws that were known with this model, right? And then I'm trying to return it, and this motherfucker's like, well, you have to bring it back with the box and all the exact shit, and take it to UPS. Whereas like if I buy some shit from Amazon and it's shipped through Amazon and I need to return it, they'll send a motherfucker to my house to grab it, right?
Yeah.
Because why would I go pick up some shit? That's the whole reason I had it shipped. If I had a truck, motherfucker, I would just go get it. Yeah. Anyway.
But that's also related to another issue that I've noticed with a lot of, especially technology companies, is the quality assurance on technology now is fucking dog
Down
shit.
the fucking shit.
Oh yeah.
Over the over the last 2-3 years. It's real over the last 2-3 years. It's really changed.
Yeah, because you know why? It's a new batch of slaves over there.
Yeah,
it's a new batch.
Yeah, it's a new batch of slaves in the cobalt mines or whatever. I don't know where slavery comes into play in the process. I'm sure it's at several points. Whatever, because whatever's in these new, because what's happening right now in the industry is that OLED is the new, or QD OLED is the new technology that's sweeping this. So all the old, like, you're gonna notice this is the best time. Or in the next 6 months is going to be the best time to buy the tip top televisions and monitors and screens from last year, because it's the end of that last OLED era and the new QD OLED era is coming in, and it's the end of the LED era and the new OLED shit is coming in, and the new QD OLED just came out, and so. Right now you can get a fucking Sony A90J for fucking $1,000 off or something. That's the best TV from last year to me. But it's like that kind of shit. So that's what's happening. They're sweeping out the old shit and bringing in new shit. So not only is it new technology, but it's new technology made by less experienced slavery. and this is, and I don't know if that's because when the pandemic hit, because they said there were chip shortages. They didn't say what was short. I think it's people. I don't think it's...
Yeah, it is people.
Yeah, I don't think that... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you can...
It's people and minerals.
Because they were like, well, we don't...
That are also mined by slaves.
People ever leave that review on the product online?
Oh, yeah.
I think they cut some corners because there wasn't enough slaves.
Definitely.
Just leave that, just reading that.
Too many of them just jumped off the rooftop.
Yeah, definitely. Because, it's a lot of... and maybe they don't call it slavery by name, but there's a lot of ways.
I'm sure they don't. I'm sure they. I think that's bad for business.
Right.
Just come on, slaves. Where are you?
Got the happiest slaves in the industry.
I'm sure there's somebody in HR that's like, we got to word this in a better.
Well, they have like slave of the month up in the mine. Wow, we're gonna lose our careers. Okay. I guess.
Well, speaking of, this episode is brought to you by Best Buy. So
this episode is brought to you by Best Buy.
What you say about Best Buy is true if you go there in person. It's almost so laid back that sometimes it makes me feel like. Sometimes I feel like I want to steal because of how easy it would be. It just feels almost weird not to steal.
Are you kidding me, bro? Best Buy used to be. Oh, man.
Best Buy, when I bought a phone case. And I bought the wrong one. And then when I went in to return it, they couldn't have cared less what they were thinking. Like, normally there's some, like, what's wrong with it? They were just like, oh, so do you want it back on the card? Do you want cash? Like, they would have just given me and I could, the case is just open. Like, you can just open a case and just put it on your phone and walk the fuck out. And nobody even cares or knows.
No.
There's so little give a shit by the employees inside that it can benefit you in some ways and then really fuck you over in other ways. I know it sounds like a corny joke of my worst experience with Best Buy was when I asked somebody who could help me, And then somebody literally said, he's like, "Oh boy in the blue shirt," and he just pointed and walked away. I was like, was he being a dick? Was that fun? Like, if he would have stayed for the joke, then I would have accepted the humor. But he just said, "Oh boy in the blue shirt," and waved, and then walked away from me. And I was like, I get the humor in that, but I wanted service.
They've never been good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember Circuit City. When Circuit City at its height, you youngins don't know nothing about this, but this was the 90s, right? When Circuit City was like at its height. When you walked into Circuit City and asked someone in the television department about televisions, this motherfucker knew everything about the television. I don't know if he had to have a master's degree or whatever, but
he knew his stuff.
Yeah, but from their inception. If you walk in the Best Buy and ask the dude by the TVs what's anything about the TVs, all he's going to do is read
the package,
the thing that you can read your fucking self.
Yeah.
That's why they have a Geek Squad. You notice how none of those Radio Shack, Circuit City, Fry's, all those other places I named, they didn't have a special area for people that knew what they were doing.
They're like, no, we just hire geeks.
Yeah,
we just hire them.
Geek Squad. Why isn't everybody in this fucking store on the Geek Squad? Why don't you have a Geek Squad packet or something for people to?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Well, it used to be that you go to like a random store. Like, okay, so they closed down the Ace Hardware in my area, and Ace Hardware is generally awesome because they're franchises, but a lot of them are union. They're union or even co-ops, right? And so the Ace Hardware that was in my neighborhood was a co-op, and one of the biggest costs for a business like that is labor, right?
But hold on, you're missing the audience. Well, explain to the audience what a co-op is, but also me while I'm using them.
Okay, yeah. So a co-op, rather than having just one business owner or a franchisee who owns the store and then they just hire individuals to be their employees and they pay them a wage and they have their own little fiefdom and they're just like the feudal lord, right? A co-op is where there's different types of co-ops, but in this case I'm talking about a workers' co-op where all of the employees there are part owners in the business.
Okay.
Oh, so you can't fire the shitty ones.
You can't. Well, the thing is though, you can fire the shitty ones, but everybody has to agree to fire the shitty ones, right?
So if the shitty one's likable.
Well, yeah,
that's how you stay forever.
There you go.
Being likable.
But honestly, if you have somebody who's really not pulling their weight, the other people they're like, well, they're losing me money because I'm a part owner in this business.
Sure.
So I want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it used to be that if you went to like a Circuit City or something like that, people were getting a pretty decent wage, and so the people who were working there, there were people who were into. If you're at a hardware store, they're into building shit. If you're at Circuit City, they're into electronics. They're into technology.
They're like,
so they knew
to talk about electronics all day anyway.
So they knew what they were talking about. Now, you get paid so fucking little to work at like a Lowe's or a Home Depot or a Best Buy. It's desperation wages. Yeah. So it's all just like 19-year-olds who don't give a fuck what they're selling.
That sucks too because part of you is like, I understand why.
I know why you don't give a shit.
I know why you don't give a shit, but that doesn't fix my problem, and my anger's got to go somewhere. So can you direct me to where I'm allowed to yell at someone? Because I need to yell at someone.
I'm telling you, man. You could replace every Best Buy with 10 people in blue shirts just going.
Yeah.
Talk to old boy in the blue.
That's why he just waved. He didn't even point. He waved like a general.
Yeah, and then you know what still got worse is I tried to, like, out of spite, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to Newegg. That's the jam. But Newegg was just bought by like a Chinese company, and now it's fucking awful.
What's Newegg?
Newegg was was like a tech focused only like website. So like it was for people that like that's really in like. Basically like Fry's, but online. It's like if you build in PCs, like components and like stuff that you you can get normal electronic shit there, but it was also for like it was like replace Radio Shack and shit like that to get like specialty components and stuff like that. But it was basically the nerd place for nerds, and now it's own, and it's like it's impossible. It's like I try to go there and I looked for the same TV and I typed in LG C2. And it showed me everything but that. It showed me these Chinese brands, like Asmodeus or whatever the fuck some shit I never heard of.
It didn't give you a different LG?
No.
You didn't even get the first 2 letters, right?
I didn't get none of that. It was like, hey, here's a Samsung and
that's just a
and
fuck you.
5 Hisense or Hitachis or whatever the fuck they were trying to say. Yeah, it was like all wrong shit. Yeah. So that's a whole other jam. That's a whole other thing. It's like everything's going to shit. I think it's us. I think we've accepted this because when's the last time we actually band together and shut a fucking company down? When's the last time that's ever happened? When's the last time we've actually as a group, as consumers, really went, you know what? Let's just destroy these motherfuckers.
Yeah, as a group, no.
It hasn't happened.
No.
And it would be so easy.
Yeah.
It's because every time you get 50% of the population wants to destroy a company, the other 50% comes to their rescue.
Yeah. It's because everything gets politicized.
Yeah.
It's like if I wanted to shut, if all of us wanted, why we can't do Paramount Plus how we did Quibi.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a problem with Paramount Plus, but I'm just saying,
sure.
Quibi went out because they were bad.
Yeah.
It was a bad idea. It was just a bad implementation of a not that bad idea.
And there's always, I think a lot of times, at least when there's like an online movement of like, fuck this company, it's always banning for the wrong reasons. Like there's so many times where I'm like, it's like Starbucks. Like one guy that worked at one Starbucks was racist. And then everyone's like, fuck every Starbucks. And I'm like, that's not, I'm not even saying that I like love Starbucks, but I'm just like, you're not starting from a good enough premise to get the whole country to be like, fuck Starbucks. If your opening argument is, did you see the viral video of the one guy that did the racist thing? And it's but this is too big of a company to be like, fuck Starbucks because of one guy.
Even if they didn't give a fuck. Like, even if Starbucks, it wouldn't, think about it. There was a movement against Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah,
right. There was a movement against Chick-fil-A, and one of them, and because they were anti-LGBTQ, right? Supposedly, But one of the most profitable Chick-fil-A's in America is in West Hollywood. One of the gayest places in America.
Yeah.
So how is that possible?
Yeah, that is really amazing when you break it down like that.
Yeah,
because they didn't even, other companies at least try to like reword their misconception or whatever their issue is the public has with them, but they were straight up just like, we don't like gay people. Do you want our food? We're not open on Sunday. Like they didn't. It's not like they backed down. They were like, I don't know. The Bible says I'm not supposed to like you. Do you want to eat here or not? Like they didn't like reword their stance.
I think part of the issue is that now, because capitalism tends towards monopolies, these companies are so fucking huge that the number of people you would have to mobilize to boycott like a fast food restaurant.
It's like there's a Chick-fil-A stadium somewhere. You want me to rename the stadium now?
Impossible.
Our only option is to start murdering executives.
Yes, agree.
We fuck all that mobile. We ain't got to mobilize. You got to mobilize 5. Yeah, all you need is 30 white men in a U-Haul truck to shut down the stock market.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. Did you see that shit? The 30 white guys in a U-Haul truck.
Oh yeah, in Idaho.
Was it Idaho? The Pride Parade.
You're talking about the Pride Parade. Nobody tried to shut down the stock market.
No. I wish.
Yeah, I know. I was like, this is like some Dark Knight Rises shit.
Because see, this is my problem, right? Is all these movements, because I'm a Second Amendment person. You know what I'm saying? I'm pro people having guns. That doesn't mean I'm against sensible gun laws or restrictions, but I just mean, but I'm not part of the 2A community, right?
Yeah.
And it's because it's the same thing with cops, right? It's the same thing with a lot of institutions where it's like, I would be so happy to meet you in the middle if you had the fucking balls to expel the racists.
Yeah.
Because listen, the whole 2A community isn't racist. I would even go so far as to say most of them are not.
Sure.
But all the racists are in the community.
And when the rest of you don't give a fuck.
And when they show up at the meeting, you don't shun them niggas.
Yes. Exactly.
Because there should be a divide. Yeah. Right? But there isn't. I bring this up a lot. Remember Philando Castillo, the guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking of that the whole time you were talking.
The guy that got shot after he told the cop that he was carrying legally, was immediately murdered.
Yep.
Not a peep from the NRA.
Cop got off. The NRA didn't care.
No.
There weren't people that were vocally just like,
it's like
this is that's a perfect example of a legal gun owner who did everything the right way. He told the officer that he had a gun. He did not hide it. He had nothing to hide. He legally owned a gun.
Right.
And that didn't matter.
And which is exactly what people claim they have their guns to fight against.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so that's what I mean. Because the truth is, a lot of people in the 2A community, they're not pro guns. They pro white people having guns.
Yeah.
They don't want niggas having guns.
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing.
That's the history of gun laws to begin with.
Yeah.
Until black people got started getting
together. The same people that will tell you banning guns won't stop gun violence, which I agree, are also don't have a problem with guns being banned in the inner cities. Where there's the most gun crime, right? Even though they know banning the guns doesn't stop the crime, so then why? So then what?
Consistency.
So then what's the purpose of banning the gun? It's to arrest niggas for having guns. You don't. It's to keep niggas from having guns. And so you ain't really Second Amendment, my guy. That's why I ain't in none of your clubs or chat groups and none of that.
Yeah.
Because I don't. It's not consistent. I'm not trying to be in no group that like. That like is just cool with like 30 racists being in the group.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all it is.
Yeah, and they just hide behind but I'm not racist. And it's like, do you have any problem with how many racist friends you have? And
like I said, I'm not anti-cop. I have friends as cops.
Yeah,
but nigga, it's racist in your precinct.
Yeah,
and you ain't saying nothing.
And it's not just a couple. There's
there's
so many LA gangs, police gangs.
Geez.
There's so many LA police gangs. That's such a loaded sentence. I don't think people realize. Where I'm like, there's multiple proven white supremacist gangs just in the police of LA. In all of the characters of what a gang is. They don't fuck with the other police gangs. They have secret handshakes, secret shit. They get caught and then nothing happens.
The most recent election, most recent election for LA County Sheriff was explicitly about his failure to even allow an investigation into the gangs. Yeah. Into the cop gangs.
Did he win the election though?
I believe he did.
Yeah. So that's where we are. We are. Yeah. We look. I don't even know where I was even going with all this.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Talk about what you want. Isn't that the whole?
I know. Listen. I know this. I know that when I see all those mugshots of the 30 dudes coming out, and I see,
and it could have been 5 different mugshots just recycled. That's how much they all looked the same.
All I know is.
Oh, correction! There will be a runoff for the sheriff.
A lot of cops know, you inherently know that those people ain't your enemy. That's why. Look, we talked about this when the last shooting happened, right? Where it was like, bro, if you watch the video of them pulling these dudes out of this truck, there was no. I don't know how to say. There was no sense of urgency. There was no tension.
Yeah, they all got misdemeanors. I mean, they're not even being charged in a major way. They're being charged with a misdemeanor. Like that's not.
Yeah, I get it, and they weren't even arrested in a violent way, or even though it's like there's a U-Haul truck full of dudes. Did they have guns?
There was some grenades.
There's
some grenades. Okay. A dude had a grenade.
But it's like...
From over 11 different states. They all got together with the insane gas prices the way that they are. 11 different states of white people got together to ban on not liking gay people. And then they get off on... and they're going to get off on something that, like, if a black dude just had weed in his pocket in the wrong state, he would have gotten more severe repercussions.
Like, it's so crazy to me because... Driving from 11 different states to band together with a group of dudes and all dress alike in the back of a U-Haul truck is one of the gayest things you
Hell yeah.
And we look at all those mugshots. You know what I think a lot of people have in common? You see these young white kids with their with this weird ideology that they're being disappeared or whatever. You know what I think they all have in common? I think their mothers are too supportive. I think they all have two. Kyle Rittenhouse's mom drove his ass to a fucking riot. You know what I mean?
Well, one of the guys from Idaho, he's getting kicked out of his basement.
Oh yeah.
That his mother owns, that he lives in, and his name is Alpha Chad.
Yeah.
His name's Alpha Chad?
His name is Alpha Chad.
That's his real name?
No, that's his handle or fucking Top Gun call sign or whatever the fuck he thinks
Everything
he's
is possible. You can't.
Yeah,
you gotta be.
That's true.
Where you're just like, there's other moms that would have been like, wait, you want to go to a riot? How are you going to get there? How are you getting to that riot? You think I'm going to drive you to that riot? Yeah. I got shit to do. I'm not driving you to that riot.
These kids are living a fantasy. It's like, and you ever notice too how it's always this kind of thing. It's always the kids that were like, that didn't have that many obstacles. It's like none of these kids are like damaged or. Mm-hmm. I don't know enough about them to say that emphatically, but it's like
that. Even with it being a sweeping statement, you're not out of line. There's generally like if I do think that there's a level of life wasn't rough enough to you for you to even have a scope of understanding how rough it was for other people. Your problems, if all of your friends' problems in life are just middle class white people problems, then something that could be a real problem one time can fucking set you off on some crazy shit.
Or you feel like things are unfair toward you because things have been unfair for you, for your benefit for so long. When things get evened out, you feel like something's being taken from you.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's this weird thing, right? And I'm just so frustrated by it because I'm like, what were they planning on doing?
Yeah. What was the goal?
Well, they were going to toss grenades into the crowd.
I think their bond was like $300 too, which was like there's so many things about that was like insane. That's like what there's people that literally don't get a bond for just drug possession, minor drug possession. They don't get a bond at all.
You know why?
Yeah.
It's because like I told you, the cops don't see them as an enemy.
Yeah.
They're like, well, they ain't come to hurt us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Park outside a fucking police station.
Yeah.
In a U-Haul full of 30 niggas with grenades, and see if you get bonded out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See if you get bonded out. Yeah. I would love to see that.
There's no way that if it was 31 Muslim dudes that we wouldn't just be, we would already be bombing another country right now. It would have already happened.
Hey, my guy, you ain't even have to be. Remember, y'all, some of y'all ain't even old enough to remember this, maybe, but it wasn't that long ago that one black man terrorized Los Angeles cops to the point where they were shooting at motherfuckers that wasn't even in vehicles that fit the description. They were shooting at people that didn't.
Just in case?
They were shooting at people that didn't fit his description in vehicles that didn't fit the vehicle's description that he was seen in.
Wow.
His name was Dorner. What's his first name? Anthony? No. James?
I feel like it's James Dormer, but
Dorner.
Dorner.
Mm.
But he was an ex-cop, and you remember this?
No. Christopher Dorner.
Christopher Dorner. So he was an ex-cop that he was a little nutty. Same old shit.
Sure.
Like same stuff the white guys do. He made a manifesto, except he shot a cop. He shot a cop's daughter. Shot a cop's daughter, and wrote this manifesto and was out on the run, shooting at cops. Mm-hmm. And from Los Angeles to San Diego, they were, and there's a 2.5 hour difference between those places, but every cop from Los Angeles to San Diego was on high fucking alert.
You know why he was fired, right? From the LAPD?
Why?
Because he reported another cop for excessive force.
Right, and they started fucking with him since then, and he lost his mind, right? A little bit. He kind of lost his mind a little bit. But I'm telling you, my guy, they threw every available resource at this motherfucker. Where there's still people now that like, because cops like shot at a paper lady and all this other shit. Yeah, and they end up burning him to death in a cabin in Big Bear. They, because of a smoke grenade malfunction.
Oh yeah,
burned down the cabin. But it was like, that's what I mean.
There's always a malfunction. Yeah. There's always a cop who, I didn't know that it was my taser. Yeah. I thought it was my taser. I didn't know it was my gun.
They were using the same smoke grenades as in Waco.
Yeah.
When they killed all those kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's my point. And my point is like, as long as the state doesn't feel like you're a threat to them, they don't treat you that way.
Yeah.
And I think, black folks are often like a threat by default. Right? Because that's the difference. Well, I have to prove that I'm not a threat. You just have to. You could literally be threatening, and it's like, well, the kid's going through something.
And that people make more excuses for white shootings of any kind too. There's a study I literally just read today that was.
You read the whole study, or you read about the study?
I read about the study.
Okay.
I didn't read the whole study. I read a snippet of a study.
All right. I'm just being clear because I was
sure.
Gonna have
I read a
questions.
snippet of a study.
Okay.
That I didn't have any part in, but maybe it's true.
Okay.
That's as good of a premise as I'm going to start with.
So what's the...
That was they showed. They determined that people are more likely from the media and from just the perception of individuals to believe that video game violence is, to excuse video game violence as the reason why a white kid shot up a school or shot up whatever versus a black kid. Where did video games blame are video games to blame?
Oh, right.
Is more of an excuse more heavily used for white individuals. Where if it's a black individual, people have put violence stereotypically so much.
We're just inherently violent.
That cops have that in their brain, even if they don't think they do. That's such an inherent bias that's there that the public is just more willing to just find excuses for white violence.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is. Trouble.
Because you know who's really responsible for white violence? If we really want to get down to it, Best Buy customer service.
It's where it all starts from.
Yeah,
it all starts from.
That's a good way to wrap it up.
Before we go, is the article "He does not look like video games made him do it"? Racial stereotypes in school shootings.
That sounds like
from
it.
Psychology of Popular Media Culture.
I read the word psychology. That sounded smart.
We'll put it in the. We'll
pop that in the description.
Anything you need to plug, Jeff?
Sure. I got some shows coming up. I'll be at the Detroit House of Comedy, June 30th through July 2nd. Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'll be there the weekend after, July 7th through 9th.
And what's your Instagram
and
Twitter?
I'm at Jeff Horste, JEFFHORSTE, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. All the things.
Okay, and I am still on tour. I'll be in Toledo this weekend. Toledo, Ohio. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Still some tickets available. Buy them now. Get there now. I'm going to be on the road with Bert Kreischer the next week. Go to my Instagram and see when those dates are. It's going to be many places. Go to BrianSimpsonComedy.com for the rest of the tour dates and tickets for the rest of the year. Also, don't forget our sponsor, Manscaped. And I'm forgetting something.
Like and subscribe.
Fuck you guys. Listen. Me and Rob debate about this. This is a little aside.
Okay.
But the conventional wisdom on YouTube is that you have to remind people to like and subscribe your videos. And there's something that feels logically what he's saying makes sense to me, but I have a visceral negative reaction to it because I feel insulted whenever a YouTuber tells me to like and subscribe. Yeah, because it's like because I don't.
I get it. I get your visceral reaction to it. I get it.
You're like, if I want to, I will, and I would have whether or not you reminded me. I know how the internet works by now.
Right. I feel like no one listening to my podcast needs to be told.
At the end of it,
and here's the other.
I listened to the whole podcast and was like, you know what? I'm not going to subscribe.
Well, here's the other side of it too.
He didn't tell me.
We all know that likes and subscriptions don't even matter. The views and how long people watch should be the only metric that YouTube channels and YouTube videos get measured on, because that's the only thing that's what YouTube uses. YouTube never shows me anything I've liked or subscribed. They show me what I've watched. If I like I tell you, I watch one Bill O'Reilly.
So do this. Instead of liking, or I don't give a fuck if you like or subscribe it, share it. Send it to somebody else.
Hey, if you like this video, share it. share the video. That's all. Yeah, I like that.
And if you skim to the end of this for some weird reason, go back to the beginning and watch the whole thing.
Or subscribe, or don't.
Or do whatever the fuck you want to do, because we're not the fucking boss of you.
Grow up.
Grow up. That's great.